New heavenly restrictions dropped in Jujutsu Zero, and this system is honestly one of the biggest power swings we have seen so far, because it can turn your stats into something ridiculous, but it also forces you to give up one entire way of dealing damage. So you are not just getting a free buff, you are choosing a playstyle, and if you pick the wrong one for your build, you will feel weaker even with bigger numbers on the screen. In this video, I am going to show you the fastest way to get the restriction you want, where the materials come from, how to craft it, how to remove it if you change your mind, and most importantly, which restriction is better depending on what you actually want to do in the game: raids, bosses, quests, or just farming in general. First, let us quickly explain what Heavenly Restriction is in this game. Heavenly Restriction is basically a permanent binding vow style upgrade that gives you massive stat boosts, but it blocks one major system. So the entire idea is, you specialize hard, and the game rewards you with crazy stats for committing. There are two options: Physical Heavenly Restriction. This one boosts your weapon-based damage and overall physical pressure, but the trade-off is you can no longer use cursed techniques. Sorcery Heavenly Restriction. This one boosts your technique-based damage and cursed energy stats, but the trade-off is you can no longer use weapons, and you also lose a big chunk of health. So before you even craft anything, ask yourself one simple question: do you want to play the game mainly with weapons, or mainly with cursed techniques? Because that one decision decides everything. Now let us talk about the fastest way to obtain them, because the process is simple, but the farming is what matters. Both restrictions are crafted, and most of the key materials come from Toji Raid, specifically from strengthened crates. So if you are serious about getting a restriction fast, your main focus should be farming Toji Raid on the highest difficulty you can clear consistently. Not the highest difficulty you can barely finish, the one you can clear over and over without random fails, because consistency is what stacks crates. Now let us start with Sorcery Heavenly Restriction. To craft Sorcery Heavenly Restriction, you need 5 Attack Vow 3, 5 Heavenly Fragments, and 1 Sorcery Binding. These materials come from your Toji Raid strengthened crates, and Heavenly Fragments can also be obtained from flame crates, so if you are missing fragments, you can mix your farming and still finish the craft faster instead of waiting on one source. The key item that usually takes the longest is the Sorcery Binding, because it is the one that refuses to show up when you want it. That is why people end up opening a lot of crates. If you are doing this the smart way, you just keep stacking strength in crates and opening them in sessions, because opening 10 crates and stopping feels slow. Opening 100 plus crates in a row is when you start seeing the full set of materials come together. Now Physical Heavenly Restriction. To craft Physical Heavenly Restriction, you need 5 Attack Vow 3, 5 Heavenly Fragments, and 1 Physical Binding. Same logic, the materials come mainly from strengthened crates, and Heavenly Fragments can also come from flame crates. So your best farming loop is Toji Raid for the main materials, and flame crates if you are short on fragments. And here is the important warning that many people miss: these restrictions are one-time use. If you craft it, use it, and then remove it, you do not just swap back for free. If you want it again later, you must craft it again. So do not treat this like a temporary test item. Treat it like a real build commitment. Now let us talk about how to remove a restriction, because you will probably want to test both at some point. To remove your current restriction, go to the Sorcerer Doctor NPC near spawn. Talk to the doctor, and you can remove the restriction from your character. After that, you are back to normal, and you can craft and apply a different restriction. But remember, if you want the old one back later, you need to craft it again. Now let us break down what each restriction actually gives you, because numbers are cool, but the trade-off matters more than the buffs. Sorcery Heavenly Restriction gives you 25% crit rate to 100% crit damage, 50% cooldown, 150% cursed energy, and 50% attack. Those are massive stats, especially the cooldown and cursed energy. It makes your techniques feel like they never stop, and you can keep pressure non-stop. But the trade-off is heavy. You can no longer use weapons, and you lose 50% health. So you become a pure technique machine with lower survivability. That means positioning matters, dodging matters, and you cannot just face tank mistakes the same way. Physical Heavenly Restriction gives you 125% attack, 185% crit damage, 150% health, and 30% cooldown. The big difference is you gain a ton of health, which makes you much harder to drop in raids, and you gain a massive attack boost that scales extremely well with weapons, especially upgraded and ascended weapons. But the trade-off is you can no longer use cursed techniques. So your damage comes from weapons and your movement and decision-making, not from big technique combos. Now the real question, which one is better? And the honest answer is, it depends on what you want to farm and what your account already has. So let us compare them in a way that actually matters, how fast they clear Toji Raid, because Toji Raid is the content you will be running a lot for crates anyway. First, Physical Heavenly Restriction. Even though the buff list looks smaller than Sorcery at first glance, Physical Restriction is insane in practice because you can use weapons, and weapons can be upgraded and ascended, which means your damage scaling has an extra layer. With Physical Restriction, your weapon hits become the main damage source, and with the attack boost and the huge health increase, you can stay aggressive the whole time without needing to play super safe. In my testing, the clear speed difference is not small. Without Physical Restriction, clears feel normal, you do damage, you wait for cooldowns, you play it clean. With Physical Restriction, your DPS spikes so hard that the raid feels like it is on fast forward. Boss health chunks down way faster, and your runtime can drop massively. Now Sorcery Heavenly Restriction. This one is the opposite experience. You feel like a technique engine. Your cooldown feels short, your cursed energy feels boosted, and your crit damage is crazy. For quests and general farming, where you are constantly using abilities, it feels very smooth and very satisfying. But because you cannot use weapons, your damage is fully dependent on your technique kit, your mastery, and how well your skills connect. And because you have lower health, you cannot just stand in bad spots and tank hits. You have to play cleaner. In my testing, Sorcery Restriction still makes you way faster than a normal build. The difference is huge, but compared to Physical Restriction in pure raid clear speed, Physical usually ends up ahead because weapon scaling plus massive attack boost is just unfair. So here is the simple recommendation that will save you a lot of time. If your goal is maximum damage and the fastest raid clears possible, pick Physical Heavenly Restriction. This is the best option for deleting bosses fast, farming strength and crates faster, and pushing harder content more comfortably because the extra health makes everything safer while still being a damage monster. If your goal is to keep using cursed techniques, farm quests comfortably, and have a smooth playstyle where abilities are your whole identity, pick Sorcery Heavenly Restriction. It is still extremely strong. It makes your technique build feel upgraded instantly, and it is more convenient for players who enjoy technique gameplay more than weapon loops. And one more tip before you craft, do not pick based only on the buff list. Pick based on what you already have. If you already have strong weapons like Inverted Spear of Heaven or Festering Life Sword, Physical Restriction becomes even more worth it. If you already have a strong special grade cursed technique that you love using, Sorcery Restriction will feel amazing. So that is the full breakdown of Heavenly Restrictions, how to craft them fast, where the materials come from, how to remove them, and which one is better depending on your goal. And now for the giveaway. Congratulations to the winner of the previous giveaway. If you see your Roblox username on the screen, make sure you have accepted my friend request so I can send you your reward. If you also want to win any Game Pass, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel, like this video, and most importantly leave your exact Roblox username in the comments below, so I can send you your reward if you win. If you have any questions about this video, feel free to ask them in the comments, and for exclusive content, giveaways, and to hang out with the community, check out my Discord and Roblox group. For a chance to join me in-game, you can also follow my Roblox profile. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more Jujutsu Zero content.